I'm assuming the money came out of your own pocket.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So you guys put your money where your mouth is, which is
Yep.
which is good. And then how did you gather the crew, and what made you decide what crew members were absolutely necessary for the process?
Well, that's a great question, and that kind of led to like the very first issue that I had on set was I'm so used to doing so much myself. I've shot short films where I've been a one-man crew, and I quickly realized on the feature, just because I can do that doesn't mean I should, or that I'm going to be able to sustain that over a feature. Even if it's a 7-day, 10-day, 12-day feature, it's a lot more than one day when you're doing it yourself, and you can relax, or 2 days or whatever on a short film. So originally it was supposed to be myself, my wife who wrote it and was producing, she was going to be on set with us, our sound recordist, Scott, who was there every day. And on some days, only some days when we needed like special effects, makeup, and makeup artists, and more or less that was it. Like it was literally like 3 of us. And I got to day 1 and I started shooting, and just by the end of the day, I realized I needed to bring on someone to shoot, because I couldn't. It was all handheld. I couldn't physically deal at the end of the 12-hour, 10-hour day, whatever it was, the first day, with like having this camera on my shoulder, trying to focus on the story, the actors, like not having any AC, any grip, anyone else, like a PA even, to just like take the camera in between takes. Like didn't have any of that. So I called a friend of mine who'd shot some low budget stuff with me before. I said, can I call in a favor? You know, I don't have a lot of money. I'll throw you few bucks, whatever I can afford. Do you want to do a feature? I knew he wanted to do narrative. He came on board. So we ended up being, a team on our biggest day of like maybe 4 instead of 3 or whatever that came out to be. And that was it. And the next film, I by the way, I don't advise that, because I'm making, as you know, another feature right now. And I think for certain films you can do that, and that's probably what you should do. But you have to know if it's right for the film, and that film it worked for, but it was a struggle. It wasn't. I'm not going to paint a picture that like it was. Yeah, you could make a movie with 3 people and it's easy. It's not easy, as you know. I mean, it's hard, and under certain circumstances, it's really hard and maybe not even a good idea. So on my next film, I mean, we're still going to be a small crew, but we're going to have enough people there that at least the day-to-day operations are moving. Me, wanting to blow my brains out at the end of every shooting day.
No, I agree. I agree with you 100%. My first film, I was the DP on. And I was a shooter and that, and then I was like, I don't want to do that again. My back, I hurt myself. There was physical damage to me, like just carrying that black magic rig on my shoulder, and it was like all this kind of, and I was out of shape. I was just out of shape. So then on the second film, I was able to do it, and I brought in my trusty DP Austin, and he did a great job. But the thing I think everyone listening should really understand is that you said something very, very interesting. The parameters. Is it right for the story? Is it correct for the story? So both those movies, both my movies and your movies, you kind of try to build the crew. Is this right for this film? Is this camera the right camera for this film? Is it? Do I need 30 people on set? Can I get away with 3 people? And will it do the story justice? If you're trying to do a huge action movie with 3 people, that's not going to work.
Exactly. And even within the micro budget, I think if I can add to that, I think it's so my philosophy has always been there's these rules you have to follow as a micro budget filmmaker. But if you follow every single rule, you're going to wind up with the same movie that everybody else is making. And it may not be that great. It may be great. And you can figure out some brilliant idea that works within those confines. But my philosophy has always been like, pick 1 or 2 rules that you're willing to break. And if it means extra work or extra sweat equity or money or whatever it takes, like break that rule to make it, if it's going to really count and if it's going to really make it special. So on this one, I broke the location rule of like, everyone says shoot in 1 location or shoot in 2 or 3 locations. Like every single day we shot in a different location, none of which we had permits for.
What?
And exactly. It was literally the most stressful experience of my life. And I've had some pretty stressful experiences in my life. And it was so insane.